Hey YouTube, how y'all doing? Okay, we made it. We're at the main Riverwalk. I had to cut my video into two pieces because I was walking through the park and they was playing some music, so I didn't want to get in copyright trouble, so I had to turn the video off. So here's part 2 of the Riverwalk walk. Anyway, I'm out here, so we're gonna begin our walk on this end, and it's pretty nice out here. So we're gonna show you what I'm looking at, and I think you'll enjoy scenes here. Here we go. So we're walking past a little bee area. It's pretty cool. It's a fantastic bees, fantastic farmers, little fun facts, little something just for the kids. Got a little bee for the kids to crawl on. So that's pretty cool. Then we got a little sculpture over here. So it's a little something for everyone out here. The riverfront, the Riverwalk, I think Conservancy did a good job in their design out here. So they made it a very pleasant place to come out here and walk and to hang out. And so lots of people come here. And I enjoy coming here myself. So we're gonna walk over here to take a look, see what's going on out here in the water. So the Riverwalk continues that way, and that's the direction we're going to be going. But at the moment, I'm going to kind of do a little sightseeing. I think eventually they're going to open this up, and it's going to continue on down, going further east. But out here in the water, see somebody in their boat, their little yacht, got the bicycles on the front. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you see a big riverboat further down. Also, across the water here is Canada, Windsor, Canada. And so, get the opportunity to see some of the buildings across the water there. That's all Canada, just across the water from Detroit. So it's pretty nice, pretty cool. Then there's a riverboat. See if we can get it into view. Beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna continue our walk. See what's going on down here. As you can see in the foreground, there's a Renaissance again. This time I got in my car and came a little closer to the downtown area and parked. I was fortunate enough to find free parking, because parking now is getting to be so expensive around here. You used to be able to get a hotel room for that price. Now that's what it costs to park your car around here. So Detroit seems like they're competing with some of the bigger cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, where it costs a lot of money to put your car away for a few minutes. But that's okay. I was able to find free parking, so that's pretty cool. Here's another little something for the kids as you walk the Riverwalk. There's a lot of little activity type things you can see for the kids. And so over here the sign talks about trees and nature air filters, and it gives you some fun facts. And then there's an area to read where it says just for kids. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Detroit Riverwalk won an award, and I forgot what the award is for, but I'm not surprised, because this is a pretty pleasant place to be. So I enjoy it. They did a good job again on kind of keep some landscape so it won't be so much hard walk, hard concrete everywhere. So we're gonna walk on down here, check out, see what's going on while we're trying to get our steps in. So Again, they design different seating areas for people to sit if you want to rest up on your walk. So that's pretty cool. So let's check this out. It's beautiful the way they laid this out. They got some huge binoculars over here where you can look in it and look over into Canada and see, hey, what y'all doing over there? What's up? So you got a little information about Detroit River ships and shipping. So it'll give you a little something to read while you're walking through here. So that's pretty nice. So we'll just keep going on our walk to see if we can get these 4 miles in. But anyway, there's more up here. It's good they paid a lot of attention to trees. Got pond, here's a pond. A lot of stone work. Got a sculpture of someone, but I don't yet see a sign as to who that person is or was. But anyway, it creates, oh, okay, here it is. But the writing is so small. Oh, okay, Peter Withrow Stroll. Okay, so he may be the founder of Stroll's Brewery Company. So I think that's what that's about. But anyway, we'll continue along our walk. As you can see, the walk kind of protrudes a little closer to the water at this point. So you can see the casino. See Little Caesars Casino right across the way. And I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit so you can get a closer look. That's Little Caesars Casino over there. I was fortunate enough to get over there. I only been over there one time, but this was before they built the big casino. They had temporary casinos at the time. And I was over there. And I only really went over there because I had company from out of town and they wanted to check out the casino. So I took them over there. And they casino type people. I don't waste my money in casinos. So I said, well, since I'm gonna take y'all, I'm gonna take $20 out of my pocket. And this is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna hit the slot machines. And if I win, something good. But if I lose, something good. I mean, it was no biggie to me. So we get over there and I cash my $20 into chips. So I'm putting chips in the machine and it's going ching, 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 ching. And just about when I hit about $11 or so, all of a sudden the machine lit up. It started jing, 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 jing. Oh my God, people start looking over there. The lights start flashing. So I get all these chips come falling down in the tray. So I got my little basket. I put all my chips in the tray. Walked over. They said, "Aren't you gonna play more?" I said, "No, I'm done." I say, I ain't giving the casino this money back." And so I get back to the window, give it to them. This is in Canada, so they converted over to U.S. dollars, and I walked out of there with $1,100. And I was only $11 into my $20 of budget for the slot machine. So I have never, and I'm the kind of guy. Casinos don't like me, not people like me, because I don't go to spend up money like a lot of people do. If I win, I'm taking that money and I'm gone. I quit. It's the end. You ain't getting this money back. And so I ended up coming home with $1,100. So that was pretty cool. Here's William G. Milliken State Park Harbor. Once again, we got a little display for the kids. There's something here for everybody. So over here we got something pond life for you to get educated about the pond life and the busy ecosystem. So that's pretty cool. Got the restroom area over here. A few vendors, so you want something to eat. If you plan to spend the whole day out here. And there's people waiting to get on board the Diamond Bell boat. I've been on there maybe 3 or 4 times, so it's pretty nice and tight, nice little boat tour. Then over to the right, you see a little merry-go-round, more for the kids. And so there's something out here, like I said, for everybody. It's a beautiful setup. And here we're getting a little close to the, if you can see, the Renaissance Center in the foreground. Over here we got places to sit. So if you choose to come down here to walk, you got a place to use the bathroom and you got a place to sit down, and there are vendors that will sell you probably some finger food, maybe burgers too. So here's a little vendor setup. You hit the ice cream jackpot. Mix in every bite and still have the calories. So we got a few vendors down here. So here we got a direction sign. That's pretty cool.
Hello, how you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. So here's a boat preparing to take its passengers. So it's getting ready to take its passengers. Okay, so let's keep on. Let's continue our walk. All right, so let's keep this walk going. I don't know how far I walk because it don't really tell you on the ground like start to finish. You know, you've gone this amount of, you know, miles or whatever. It doesn't have that here. But you just walk and get your steps in. And if you have a step app on your phone, you just hit start from the beginning of your walk, and then as you walk, you just keep track of how far you're going, and then when you get to your goal mark, you can either stop walking or whatever you choose to do. So that's what I recommend when you get down here, because there's no mile marker on the riverfront. Anyway, we getting it in. We following doctor's orders. That's what she ordered. Well, she didn't really order, she suggested. And so, of course, you know, me being in my mid-60s, well, past mid-60s now, you know, I want to live a quality life. And since my last checkup, she graded as excellent. I want to keep that going. I love hearing that. That made me feel good, because years previous, she didn't give me no excellent score. Matter of fact, some of the things that she told me really kind of made me concerned. And so I said, I gotta get myself together. And then too, you know, I've already seen how my daughters have grown up and become successful. So now I'm in my grandkids' life, and I'm looking at how successful they are in school. So I really appreciate being able to see that. So I'm thankful that I'm able to live to see those kind of things. So those kind of things motivate me to take care of my health. But anyway, I'm gonna turn you around, show you some more landscape and scenery that I see. It's looking really good, looking very well kept right through here. So I appreciate that. As y'all have watched my channel and previous channels, you know that I appreciate landscape, so that's what I like looking at. So now we're coming on down more parts of the Riverwalk where people getting their walk on, or in some cases, they're just getting their sightseeing in. They just want to see what's going on. So that's what this is all about. So, still getting our walk in. That's a beautiful thing about Detroit. It was situated and built and discovered right along the Detroit River. So we're in a beautiful location where a lot of cities don't have this luxury where they're a coastal community. So a lot of cities are kind of landlocked where all sides of the city is other cities. There's no water. They may have probably some ponds with acreage, and they may have a lake or two, but they don't have a coastal waterway such as Detroit. And so I enjoy being out here. I enjoy coming out here sometimes, sitting down, just reminiscing. It's good for your mental stability. Good, give you an opportunity to think, give you an opportunity to just reflect, give you an opportunity to just take inventory of what's going on in your life. Anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera around again because there's some artwork that's on display, and I think that's pretty nice. Artwork on display. And they got a little writing about it. Worcester crab apples, photographic print. So it's pretty nice. It gives you a little something to look at for everybody. Yeah. There's a pretty little bird down there. So here we go. Okay, straight ahead, I see a boat docked. Not sure what boat that is, but I guess as I get closer, I'll get a chance to read on the side of it. What kind of boat is it? Who they are? It's definitely some kind of tourist boat. That's for sure. It's got more lawn sculptures, which is pretty nice. And again, as you can see, we are approaching Renaissance Center. We're right up under it now. It's a landmark that all of us Detroiters have come to know. It was built in 1973, and it was designed by John Portman. And he not only designed and built this one, But he has one in Atlanta, which is called Peachtree Plaza. And he also, I believe he also has one more, and I don't recall right now where that one is located. Oh, Los Angeles. It's called the Westin Bonaventure Hotel. And they all built pretty similar, with the towers and the towers in the middle. Here's that boat cruise on its way. It's pretty interesting to look at when you come down here. Now, take note, I'm gonna try to zoom in. I don't know if my camera is showing it that well. Yep, there it is. You can see the Canadian flag flying right across the water there. So we are definitely across the water from Canada. It's pretty cool to look at. And of course, the Canadians are our neighbors. We love Canadians, and they love us. In spite of there's been some little rift in between, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to keep our focus on the walk. And as you can see, we've now reached the Renaissance Center, and out front of the Renaissance Center is the Winter Garden, where you see the glass atrium at the Winter Garden. And we'll just pan all the way upward to the top of the towers. Now they are planning, I understand, to take these two towers down that's in front close to the river, and they're going to redevelop this area. And so based on the plans that they say they're going to do, we're going to see what it's going to look like. But from what they're saying, it's going to be extremely exciting. It's going to be new and different for Detroit, and it's going to put Detroit on the map in a whole different area. So we'll see what that looks like. So here we go. Getting our walk on. We're getting closer to that boat, so we'll get a chance to see what kind of boat that is. But it's docked right behind the Renaissance Center. And we'll get a chance to see. Okay, as you can see the front of the Winter Garden, I don't know if you can see up close, but it says General Motors. This is where, oh, go ahead. This is where General Motors headquarters are located, but that's now temporary because when they complete the Hudson building, General Motors is going to move out of this building into the Hudson building. So General Motors' term here in the Renaissance is now short term. So anyway, we're keeping on with our walk, but I want to see what this boat is. I think this is a cruise ship. It's a small one though, but still, it's a cruise ship, and it says Viking Polars on the side of it. So this may be a cruise ship that probably cruises the Great Lakes, and it's docked here in Detroit, and probably all of the passengers are probably in and around downtown Detroit shopping. So, and that's interesting. It's pretty cool. I wonder how many passengers were on board this ship. It's pretty large, so I imagine it's probably a couple hundred or more. Probably about 400 or 500 maybe, if this ship was filled to capacity. So, okay, so looking ahead, and it looks like possibly the rest of the Riverwalk might be closed off. It might be constructing something else, which would not surprise me at all. Now, we're outside of the Port Detroit and Wayne County Port Authority. So this is where all the cruise ship would dock, and the passengers and the tourists and vacationers will get off, shop around downtown Detroit, and they'll get back on the ship and they'll do something else. They go to a different so okay, it looks like, oh no, it looks like I'll be able to walk around further than this point. Yeah. So, again, here's a cruise ship. Looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4 stories, 5 stories tall. So we got people visiting Detroit, and of course the ship is docked in front of Port Detroit. Okay, I gotta turn my video off because I hear music and I don't want to get in copyright trouble.